Welcome guys to another episode of a property success store. We're in London, very near the M25 borderline between Essex and Hertfordshire, with one of our amazing star students, Ollie, who is developing an amazing old house, converting that old house into a brand new energy efficient home. So Ollie, tell us about this deal, how you found this deal, a little bit more background on this.
Yeah, sure. I just found this deal on Rightmove. We were searching for some time, doing a number of viewings, a few different sites. We actually did get an offer accepted on a different site previously, but that fell through. But these things can happen, they always do. So we literally got straight back out there. Luckily, I had all the finance and everything set up for that previous deal. So when I come to this site, literally within a week of that deal falling through, we were in a position to make an offer on the spot. As soon as we saw the site, we knew the price was in the right ballpark, and we just knew the location was a really beautiful location where the deal and the numbers stacked.
Absolutely. So going back into detail, Ollie, now, what are the pound per square metre sellable price around here?
On average, you're looking at about £5,500 a square metre.
Amazing.
But what we have, which is what I've sort of learned over the last few days, the smaller properties tend to get that. The larger ones, you start diminishing a bit per pound per square metre. We've got over 250 square metres here. I'd say probably the first 150, you're looking at that, reaching that figures, but the back end, you're probably looking at anywhere between £4,000 and £5,000 square metre.
Amazing.
But we don't know. We're in chats with our agent at the minute because it is going to be a brand new building. Like you say, it's super energy efficient. A lot of pluses. It's going to have all the air source heat pumps and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. With a new build premium, you might make them numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you differentiate from your competition, because at the end of the day, it's a business, isn't it?
Yeah.
And your competition is not developing as efficient, as energy efficient as you are.
Exactly,
You got a huge advantage, and the people also that are going to live in there are going to save a lot of money.
Exactly.
So shall we do a little tour around?
Yeah, for sure. We'll go
the house,
around
and then you can tell us what is what. Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Come follow us, guys. So we're at the top of the scaffolding here now, where this amazing structure is being erected. We're going to talk about the reason what Ollie decided to go seat panels. So Ollie, what was the main reason that you went for seat panels construction?
So there's a couple of reasons really. One, sort of our whole brand and our business is centered around the whole eco-friendly building with nature. So this system is perfect because one, you obviously get the U values you need in the walls for insulation. Secondly is speed of construction. These things can go up really quickly. You can get watertight, and all your other trades coming in and building a lot quicker than traditional forms of construction.
In terms of numbers, you know, I did work out when I did my own eco home, the pound per square meter and the cost on traditional blockwork. What's the difference in cost between one blockwork and seat panels?
I think with it being a lot quicker, and I mean, I'm a structural engineer myself, so I've done the design and we've ordered all the individual panels. Because we can do all of that in-house, it's actually working out a hell of a lot cheaper. Amazing. And it's going to be a hell of a lot quicker on site as well.
So what roughly percentage have you saving here on the construction?
I would probably say we're looking at a 30% saving potentially.
That's amazing.
Because obviously we've got that facility in-house.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, guys. I did exactly the same as Ollie. I did the comparison between the two, and on my house it was about 50% saving. How many weeks are you saving on erection, as in superstructure erection here?
So you're looking at weeks, 3-4 weeks that we're saving.
So that means weeks saving not only on the construction element, but when we are developers, we're paying banks, right? We're paying investors. Exactly, so that means it's going to be
savings on interest,
100%.
And overheads on site, all these sort of things sort of come into it that you're making savings on.
100%.
But yeah, this will be the main entrance to the site. There'll be big. Well, we're coming in 600 from either side. Well, not even that. 600 minus the width of the panel either side, and then it's going to be nice big. We've got all black aluminium doors and windows, and then there'll be two big side panels as well, so the light will all come through. So yeah, in this main entrance area, it'll be the full width here, all the way to that end wall, and there'll be a nice big roof light in here as well. So yeah, there'll be a lot of natural light. Not natural light. Well, there's going to be another wall across here, and there's be a double set of doors which will go through to the big open plan living, kitchen, dining area. That's going to be stunning. Like as you can see, we've got the 2 4-metre bifolds.
See the windows in between.
You've got the 2 windows in between as well. So lots of natural light. This is sort of south is kind of over here, so it's kind of partially south facing as well. So that's gonna get all the sun most of the day as well. So that's good.
Terrific. Okay, let's go around.
So yeah, and then as we move along, we've got a couple of different rooms here. At the minute, we've put this as an office, so you can see where they've come in with the blockwork there. That's roughly about where the wall line is. Maybe a bit further over here. So we've got office space here.
Yeah.
We've got second bedroom here.
Uh-huh.
That's got its own ensuite and walk-in wardrobe as well. You can see with the door opening to the left.
Uh-huh.
And then, yeah, so walk-in wardrobe there. And then over there, we've got, it's just be storage space.
Yeah.
So like a nice 6 metre squared storage space. Yeah, we need to get that in. Yeah, so then as we come round, there's a lot of bit of technical here because we've got a pitched roof coming down, and we're coming back into our cells. we've got this falling a couple of different ways, so that's been a bit tricky to get in, but it's not finished yet. But when that roof comes on, we've had to get a few different sort of cuts of timber at different angles and stuff like that to make that work. But yeah, and then we've got, so over here we'll have the utility. And we've got service. You can see here you've got our main services, electric, water will be coming into here, and yeah, we're just mainly electric and water. They're the main services. We've got drainage, surface water going out the front, and valve going out across our site here.
May I grab your attention, guys, to look. This is a sit panel down there on the floor, and it's basically very simple. It's 2 layers of OXB board, and then you got a big layer of polystyrene, because that's all the insulation. And that panel is structural, so it takes weight. So, Ollie, how was the thickness of that?
So the overall wall thickness is 194 millimeters. So you've got 172 of insulation between 2 11mm OSB boards, which they're all glued together. They're actually stronger than traditional timber stud with insulation in between, but you've obviously got the added benefit of not having the cold bridge with the studs in between. All the joints are, we've covered these because there's been a bit of rain, but I don't know if you could see it, but you have what you call a spline, these joints. So they eliminate the cold bridge issue when you join in panels, because they are just a mini panel inside which just fixes up all to the front. Every joint, you'll probably see as we go around, you'll see sort of this foam coming out the bottom. So every joint is sealed, because that's one of the good aspects about this sort of system, is every joint is sealed, so we get an airtight building. Yeah, so then this is sort of the main open plan kitchen, living diner. Our kitchen would be this end, a big island in the middle, and then sort of in line with that panel there will be sort of dining area, time table. We've got some nice feature lights coming down there. Then we've got we'll have a fireplace in the middle there, which will be you can see all the way through. Yeah, so we'll build that out of blockwork. Obviously, we're still going through the design of that in a minute, but the flue, etc., because it's a timber building, a few extra design things we need to incorporate just for fire safety. And then the other side of that is just a big living room with TV on this side of the wall, big U-shaped sofa. And
the other beauty, guys, about building with sit panels, from our personal experience, is that you can you can also combine the sit panels with structural steel when you are spanning from wall to wall, and it's longer than a few meters. Then you can incorporate steel over there, right, Ollie? You incorporated the steel.
It's a good point actually, because across our build here we've got 5.5 meters, 5.6 meters. So sit panels won't span that. Typically you can use the big eye joist, but we had an issue with ceiling heights. We wanted our ceiling heights to be as high as possible. So we also got a green roof going on, so our build-up depth was still quite big anyway, so we needed to reduce that as much as possible. So we've actually got our steel beams incorporated within the depth of the sit panel itself. So because sit panels wouldn't span the 5 meters this way, so we've actually got intermediate steel beam, and we're spanning this way. With the green roof, like the max load we could get to achieve with the reinforcement inside is about 3 meters. So yeah, there's sort of 3 meter spans going all across here. So yeah, so that's the perimeter of our site. So we've put up some of the fences, but we're obviously going to be putting in new fences all round. But yeah, this will be the main back garden. As part of planning. Yeah, well, this is garden number 1. We've got garden number 2 out there as well.
Yeah, out the front.
Yeah. So we've got sort of a bunch of trees in the corner there, silver birches, and then that's got its own planting beds. We've got some native sort of hedgerow planting all along the back. In this corner as well, we're putting 3 new Scots pine trees as well. Right. We've got loads of bluebells planting underneath as well, so that should look good in the spring. And then yeah, as we come along here, we've got a few climbing plants which are being installed along here. Yeah, and then we've got the 3 meter patio coming out, and then the rest will just be grass. lawn.
Decent sized garden,
Yeah, yeah.
but not too big.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, well, and we also want to, we don't want it, we want to be a little bit maintenance free as possible,
yeah.
obviously, because anything too intensive could end up putting off potential buyers.
100%. But you know, when you're a developer, you need to think of all of these aspects. So then you kind of, at the end of the day, you know, you're serving a customer and or already dealing with rejection. A garden too big would be, you know, something that would be high cost item.
But yeah, we'll go to the bedroom wing.
This is going to be a how many bedroom house then?
4 bedrooms and an office. So I mean, you could sell it as a 5 bed if you wanted. But yeah, we've just marketed that as an office. I mean, in all honesty, we're probably trying to attract someone maybe moving out of London, wanting to upsize a home. We also think the working at home aspect, like, you know, stick an office in there. I mean, they can use it for what they want really, but just as a marketing tool, that's what we've gone for. So yeah, so just along here, we're going to have WC just here, so you can see like the pipe work coming up for that. And then again, we're going to have another storage area there. We didn't want any dead space at all in here, so we're using absolutely everything. Obviously, because there's no loft, we don't actually have a garage or anything like that. So in terms of storage, we try to fit it in where we can. So like I said, we've got a big 6 square meters there, and we've got another couple of square meters here. So that's all within guidelines. It's above guidelines for the storage as well. So yeah, the corridor will come along here. We've got 2 bedrooms here, so we've got bedrooms 3 and 4. So they're not en suite. Bedroom 2 over there is en suite, and the master is en suite. So they're not en suite. So then if we're coming over here, you can't see it at the minute because the panels are on it, but we've actually got a light well put in there. So it's probably about 2.5 meters by 1.5 meters. That's external. Internal is about 1.5 by 2 meters. We've got windows coming off all sides, so that's going to provide natural light down this end, also to the main bathroom. And we're going to stick a tree or something in there, something nice, just sort of bringing the whole vibe of the living outside in, sort of that whole, well, which is sort of our brands. Yeah, so then we'll come through here. So like I said to you, we've got the light well there. Off that side, you can see the valve pipe and stuff coming up with the drainage. So that's the main bathroom in there. So that's nice big main bathroom. CGIs that we've got for this, they've done a really good job. We've got a bath at the end with, you know, all shower, like everything you need in there. And then this back end here, do the wall here. So this is the master bedroom, which is one of the main selling points, we think. It's about 30 square meters in itself. Wow. It's got big 6 meter bifold doors onto its own private garden.
That's
at the back.
awesome, mate.
So,
really
so
nice.
yeah, and then
We've got another garden over here.
yes, this is garden 2. Yeah, yeah. It's just under 1,000 square meters, the whole plot. Yeah. Yeah. So again, we want to try and keep this as low key as possible. We've got we've got a row of trees at the back, which will help, because obviously it's the overlooking. We've got the master bedroom there, so we're trying to give it a little bit of cover, especially from this house here. And then down the road, we've got a bunch of planting in there, sort of native and sort of, you know, bee friendly, nature friendly flowers. And then it'll be a 3 meter patio at the back, and then just lawn in the middle. So yeah, so that'd be like a really nice addition to the to the master bedroom. Yeah, so all bifold doors. We're actually doing the
Where do you get the doors from?
so we're looking at the order at the minute. So we're actually in discussions with a company called Just Value Doors.
Okay.
So I've used them on a previous project. They're really good because you can literally just go online, you can put in all your own dimensions, the exact style you want, and you're sort of taking out the middleman because you're doing all of that side of things. You can actually get really good value doors and windows.
That's a tip for you guys. I also can recommend a company called Soleta in Lithuania. I did mine was triple glazed because it was a passive house. However, they do also do double glazed.
Yeah, so then with this one, you've got the master bedroom, which then walk into its own sort of walk-in wardrobe. So they'll have about 4 meters of wardrobe space, and then onto its own ensuite in this area. So that is either his and her shower, his and her sink. So yeah, the master bedroom is definitely one of the main selling points for this property, along with maybe the open plan living area, I think, which both of them back onto the gardens. Again, it's just, we want to sort of bring in that whole sort of inside out sort of living. We want to get as much glazing as possible, so you can bring as much of the outside in. It's natural light, it's good for well-being, and we just want to make a beautiful place to live.
100%.
Yeah, so you can see all the windows are floor to ceiling as well. We weren't doing any of the small windows, like, so yeah, there'll be natural in every habitable room. There'll be absolutely like plenty of natural light coming in.
So let's have a look at this detail here, Ollie. So there's obviously a joint in here between the seat panel. How do you make that joint?
Because these are round windows, these aren't actually blind. Whenever you got openings, you need to trim it out with timber. So you'll have one timber which will be running up the full side. And then on the internal leaf, because we need to support this panel here, and obviously if it's load bearing, we need to spread the load across. But yeah, we just fix in another timber here, and then this panel just slots in nicely and fixes. There'll also be a timber along the bottom, which will fit either fixed up into this timber. That timber's fixed to that, so then that's all structurally supported. Or you can try and fix it into the side as well.
One other question here, just our audience, how is that going to work in here? So you go, this is the shell, you know, structural seat panel. So what goes
just
on
a total
side?
build up.
How many layers do you have in here?
So like I said, with just the sit panels on their own, get us to our U value that we need for building regs, which is literally just, that was a couple of years ago, they sort of upped all them figures as well, or lowered them. But yeah, it's harder to achieve. But the wall panel itself, because they're so well insulated, that reaches out on its own. So on the outside now, we'll just have a breathable membrane. And there'll be batten, counter batten, and then we're just
timber clad.
Yeah, timber clad. Yeah.
Or straight onto the battens.
Straight onto the battens. Yeah.
So you're not using any cementitious board, just a timber.
No, it's just literally timber clad all around the house. So
amazing.
We're getting again as natural as possible. We're looking at the beautiful Canadian Western red cedar. That's it, Canadian Western red cedar, which is sort of the best out there. But you can get it in beautiful sort of dark reddish colours. Like there's not many knots in it, so it's really stunning.
Nice and durable. So on that end, what are the layers on this end?
So on this end, there's a couple of options really. We're going to have to like a vapour barrier as well, and then we're either going to counter batten it, or we can just put plasterboard straight on. The thing is with these, we want to try and get the acoustics a bit better than we've got. So we're going to be lining these all with soundboard plasterboard. So it's a lot thicker, it's denser, it's heavier. It just helps block the sound from outside to in. So we're looking at either just putting 2 layers of that straight on. Like with the, obviously because you'll have electrical cables and things. If you put the one layer directly on, you can chase out roots for that, and then the second layer comes over.
And the reason for that being, guys, is when it comes to valuation, the rig valuer will come and shoot his lasers from this wall to the other wall, okay, and that's livable space. If you're reducing that by not having the timber batting, then you're increasing the livable space, and therefore you get more pound per square meter. You get a lot more livable space inside the house, and then your value will shoot up. You know, it's a good nugget for you guys to implement in your own developments.
Like I say, like you can see there's a few different levels across the building. So these are sort of the peak areas is here, and sort of at the centre of that area, which is about 3.5 metres high. So then this will have a roof which will be falling, shallow fall down to literally the top of that steel beam. Same with that way, it's falling down, and then the central area is just a complete flat roof. So it's going to be a green roof. It's going to be like an intensive build up. So it's going to be at least 100 mil of soil, and then it will be a complete wild flower bed meadow.
Oh wow!
It's going to be really beautiful when it's done. Another one of our issues here is, well, the main issues that we've faced so far is probably when we bought the site, we thought we had electrical connection, we thought we had surface water connection, and we thought we had water connection, all of which the searchers come back and said we had. But when we got to the site and we started demolishing it and excavating and looking for them, we found out that they'd actually stole it off of number 15 because I don't know if the reason why the odd shape of the site is because this used to be the back garden for number 15. So clearly when they bought this back in the 60s, I think it was, they probably had a deal with them just to use their electricity, and they've never had their own connection. So we've had to get new connections for all of them. So UKPN have already installed their temp out there. They'll need to come back and do the permanent when they come in. We've also got Affinity Water. We still need to set a date for them, but they're coming in to install a new water connection. And then we've had all our drainage system signed off by Thames Water, but luckily we can do that works ourselves, so we can save a bit of money there, and all they've got to do is come in and inspect it and sign it off. But out the front, just going towards drainage, so with SUDS now, which is obviously sustainable urban drainage, we've had to end up attenuating like almost 20 cubic metres of water on the site before going back into a sewer system. Typically you'd have a soakaway, but the groundwater table's really high here, so we couldn't have one of them. So that's why we've had to attenuate all the water on site, and then we've had to have a flow restrictor and then slowly release it back into the sewer system. So what that has actually ended up doing though is our whole front driveway, we're going to have a 400 mil build up of it's type 3, MOT type 3, which has sort of 30% void, so all the rainwater will literally be directed to here. That'll fill up before it goes out into the sewer. Yeah.
One nugget here for you guys: when it comes to conveyancing and solicitors, if your solicitor didn't spot like this, the fact that this development did not have water and electricity and didn't do a proper job for you, you can go after their professional indemnity insurance. The reality is you're appointing people to do the work for you, and if they get it wrong sometimes, you're able to, or should be able to, get compensation for something like that. Thanks so much, Ollie, for showing us around. Now we're going to look at the numbers, so follow me. So Ollie, we are developers, right? We also need to be considerate with our neighbours, noise and all of this. So what do you do on that front?
Once we'd secured the deal and we'd got the programme and everything in place, we wrote an introduction letter to all the neighbours. We hand delivered them, knocked on the door, we spoke to them face to face, gave all the information about the project, expected programmes, all our contact details, obviously, because we understand that they can be very disruptive things for neighbours, but we want to make that as least disruptive as possible. Yeah, and then just everything in general, because obviously we had to put up a lot of new boundary fences and things, just liaising with the neighbours and in general. After that first introduction, it's been good, to be honest with you. Yeah.
So now let's talk about numbers. First of all, finding a deal like this, I bet it took quite a while. How many years did you analyse before you did?
So analyse. I remember when I just first started going at this hard.
Was this straight up to the boot camp, wasn't it?
I did the development boot camp. Yeah, and like that boot camp for me, there was just light bulbs going off. As soon as I come back from that boot camp, within a week I'd got the new website all set up and done. Got my whole branding sorted, which has sort of been lagging a bit because I was doing the service accommodation stuff. But this is what I want to focus on. And within a week, that was all done, set up, ready to go, and then I was going out for viewings. So obviously, one of the strategies that was discussed in that thing was literally just go on Rightmove and Zoopla and On the Market and all these places, just look for land searches. So I literally went on every single one of them platforms, had a list of about 40 different plots of land for sale that, some were more promising than others, but at least that I could approach. So, and then I put them all in a priority order, and then analysed all the deals as I went down. And then I must have analysed, like I said, there was 40 deals there that I was analysing. Some of them were a bit briefer than others, because once you'd put a few of the numbers in, it's like, well, that definitely won't work. Or this is promising, we could offer lower. And then some of them were just like, bang on, I'd even offer asking for that, so that's what we did. So literally that was weeks really, just analysing and just looking literally everywhere around our area, which is in Hertfordshire, Essex sort of area.
Key to these guys is do never give up, because you need to see this as an stoic, let's say, approach. You need to take this as, the stoic approach of like every single deal that you analyze, you get faster, you get quicker, but the next one is the one that you're going to make the profit. At the end of the day, you got to keep a lot of frogs to get that little gem, and you did so. Well done, mate. Really for that. So now, Ollie, let's take through the numbers. So your purchase price was how much?
So we bought the land for 350,000.
350,000. Okay, great. That had planning permission, correct?
That came with planning permission already. So it was actually full planning, but I mean, in terms of the drawings and stuff, they weren't overly detailed. So we had to develop the design.
Outline planning. And then you go to.
Well, no. So it had full planning. But the drawings just wasn't very detailed. Sure. So there's a lot more in the design that had to be sort of ironed out for sure.
So that's key, guys. When you have planning, then that means you get finance. Otherwise, you have to get planning first to get the finance. So the finance wise, what companies did you approach and which one did you go for?
We had a broker. They had a number that was okay, but like I said, because this is a SIP panel construction, that did sort of cut a few off, and then we only really engaged one because there was an obvious one that was going to do it. They're called Magnet Capital.
Right.
They're very on it and they're very pedantic, but don't get me wrong, it's all part of the process. I mean, just getting the deal over the line was one epic journey in itself.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, they're obviously just trying to cover their backsides, and they want to make sure that the deal works. So I mean, it's definitely given me more confidence that what we're doing here will work, because they've gone through it with a fine-tooth comb. I've gone through it with a fine-tooth comb, and the worst comes to worst, there's still going to be profit in it.
100%. Great, amazing. Okay, so in terms, so gross development costs roughly with everything, with
Yeah.
with the solicitors' fees and so on and so forth. How much was that again?
So we're looking at it's gone up a bit, but we'll just call it 600,000.
600k. So that is the construction cost plus the land, roughly gross development cost in total.
So then that'll be 600 plus 350, so 950,000.
950,000.
Then there's obviously the interest and
Interest
stuff
on
on
top.
banks, which would probably be about another 100,000.
Okay.
So then you're looking at 1,050,000.
Sure.
Then we've got other investors, so
Yeah.
there's their interest.
Yeah.
And sales fees and stuff like that. So that might bring the price up a little bit.
Yeah.
But originally the construction cost was lower, so it worked out about £200,000 profit in it.
See.
But it's probably going to diminish slightly from that now.
Sure,
But,
I understand. Yeah, construction costs gone up, but equally, a house like this, highly desirable,
Yeah.
close to station, with so much space inside,
Yeah,
it's going to
yeah.
go in a heartbeat for sure.
Yeah, well, that's what we hope.
It will. Amazing. So, in terms of shareholders, what deal do you struck in here with them?
So,
Was it a loan agreement or was it joint venture?
So we've got two. So we've got a joint venture agreement with the builders. So they're builders that have known. Well, I went to school with one of them. So
Great.
we started this venture together. I'm the developer side, they're the sort of contractor side.
Right.
We're the only stakeholders. So we're 50-50 on the SVP company that we've got for the build, and then we've got a bunch of investors as well, which are just on loan agreements. So we're paying 12%. To all the
For the equities part of the development. Okay,
Yeah.
that's great, amazing. In simple words, using someone else's money, right, to do this development,
A lot of
and
people have money.
and once you have your return, it will be infinite return.
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah,
Right. Our first development is always the hardest, right? Domino to knock,
yeah.
isn't it? At the end of the day, you learn a lot, but the reality is you have to make this sustainable and profitable,
Yeah.
right? What is the profit margin in here?
So we based the numbers off a GDV of 1.25 million. So if
That's
we
conservative, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's conservative. We've
Based
we've
and
got the CGIs, which I'm sure you can see as well. But we've just put it on the market for 1.395 million. So that's almost £140,000 over what we've done our numbers on. We're probably likely to. I don't think we'll achieve that, but we're trying. We'll probably end up somewhere in between. So the original numbers were based off of 1.25 million, and that would have, if all things went to plan, would have left us at about £200,000 profit across all stakeholders. But yeah, it can only go up from there, we think. So
Sure.
it could end up being a bit more than that.
Amazing. So if you like a little bit more of this information, subscribe over here, and maybe see you one of our events at the Property Millionaires Bootcamp, where you can learn how to source deals, you can learn how to analyze deals, and then you can learn how to fund deals and change your life and the people around you for the better.